This conference will now be recorded.
Azure? Azure portal. Okay. In Azure portal, what did we create? VMs. What is resource group and what is resource? Okay. A logical grouping of resources is called as resource group. Okay. And what was your subscription name? Free trial. For that subscription, you will be getting an ID or not? Yes. Okay. They are going to charge you on subscription ID basis. Okay. That's fine. Now, yesterday we have created a resource group, and inside the resource group, we created two VMs. And those two VMs are VM1 and VM2. One is with Windows operating system, second is with Linux operating system. Okay. How did you connect to the Windows operating system machine? Remote is fine, but how did you search? Start button, remote desktop connection. What is the other way? Start, run, and MST SC. If you do MSTSC directly, it is going to take you to the remote desktop connection. Okay. Which IP you have taken? Public IP or private IP? Public IP. Okay. How did you connect to the Ubuntu machines? Putty. Okay. There you need to give public IP or private IP. Public. That's what I told you. So during your initial stages, wherever you see, use only public IPs. After some time, you will be using private IPs. Okay. So, what are the different kind of SCP tools that you have used? SCP. Hmm. FileZilla and WinSCP are the two SCP tools. Why them? To transfer the files from your local system to the other, we can make use of them. Okay. Okay, till this point it is fine. And what are the four steps that we have used yesterday? Like yesterday, what did we try to set up? What did we try to set up yesterday? I'll give you the hint. So somebody like, is it very low now? Okay. Yesterday we are trying to set up a pipeline agent. So whenever you run a pipeline, by default VM will generate. That is called as hosted. But what have we done yesterday? Self-hosted. What is the option? Like where I need to set up that project settings or organization settings? So if you go to project settings, and there you can go for agent pools. If you go with the Azure pipelines, that means hosted. I want to use default as the agent. This is a pool or what? What do you mean by pool? A pool. Not only for VMs, n number of VMs will be available in the pool. Why you are keeping n number of VMs in the pool? Because if one VM is busy, send the request to the other VM. So we are sending the request on the pool level, not on the VM level. Okay. So if I want to set up an agent, go to agents, click on new agent. So that what happens is it is going to set up the agent. So first what you need to do is first download the agent and send that downloaded file, zip file to the remote desktop machine. One after that what you need to do is you need to extract that complete file, and then once you extract you are going to get two of the files. You need to run these two files, config.cmd and run.cmd. Since it is a Windows machine, you are able to see config.cmd and run.cmd. If it is a Linux machine, config.sh, run.sh. sh stands for shell. If it is .exe, what do you mean by that? Executable file. If you want to install anything, .exe, right? If it is a .txt, text file. If it is a .json, JSON file. Like the same way, .exe is not going to work on this. What you need to do is like you need to run this shell, like shell scripting files, config.sh and run.sh. In Windows, it is config.cmd and run.cmd. .cmd stands for command line. Yeah, fine. So yesterday we have created the VMs and then we uploaded these files to the VMs. So let me just see, like where is the portal? This and this. And I'm not sure whether I have the user ID or password. Let me just do this. Portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com. And I don't know the password. I need to ask for the password. Not this one. One second, let me ask the password because again we need to create a VM and again we need to send that, like share that file to the. I think it is directly taking me into the portal. Yeah, fine. Directly it took me into the portal. How? Cache memory. It already saved some passwords, right? Due to that, it directly took me into the user account. Let me just go to the virtual machines and let's see. Yes, I have these two VMs. I have these two VMs. Yesterday I am running these two VMs. I stopped them. See, why did I stop? If you keep the VMs always up and running, the cost will be more. So to reduce the cost, I just stopped them. Again, if you want to turn on them, click on this and just start the VM. Start it, and same like I just want to start the Windows machine as well. Yeah. Whenever I say Windows machine, that means Windows VM. So I have tried starting these two VMs. Okay. Now I want to first go with the Windows machine because first if you understand in the user interface, then you will understand about the Ubuntu. MSTSC. And these two VMs are started. First, I want to go with the Windows operating system. This is the public IP. Copy this, paste it here. SAadmin is the username and password is India81234556. India81234556. Yes. And like the same way, okay, let me just do it for the Windows first, then I'll go for the Ubuntu. I have my file here. Okay. Now let's go back to the DevOps part and see. If it is a Windows, they are asking me to download the agent. I download it and already I sent that file also. It is a command line or PowerShell. So if it is a command line, just open it. What do you see in the background? Black color. If it is a PowerShell, you will see the background as the blue color. And clearly you can see that PS stands for PowerShell. Okay. Let me open PowerShell also. You can take any of this. See, in the background you can see the blue color, right? So wherever if you see blue color, majority of the time it will be PowerShell. Close this. Now to create the agent, what they are asking me to do, copy this command. What it is going to do? So in this VM, what I am going to do is cancel everything, and I want to open what PowerShell, right? I just searched on search bar, just trying to open the PowerShell. Yes. Shift insert, make a directory, and then navigate into that directory. Yes, the directory is created and I am inside the directory. And then copy this. Now we will get an error. Tell me, after looking into the error, tell me what was the exact issue.
You need to extract the file.
We need to extract the file, that is correct. But what was the exact issue? Study the error first. If you understand the error, 99% of the work is completed. Exception calling extract to directory with two arguments. Fine. Could not find the file where in this directory. Which directory it is looking for? C users sa admin downloads. But where I have my file in desktop. So that's why it is not able to find that exact file here. So now what do you want me to do? Yeah. There are two things. Within this command, keep it as a desktop, or else you have one more way. Copy this file and keep it in the downloads. That's fine, right? As of now, it is empty. I'm just moving the file from here to here. I just copied and pasted it. Now try to run the command. And the same command, up arrow mark. Now what it is doing is PWD stands for present working directory. So it is trying to extract the zip file from this location and putting into my present working directory. And see down right now it is happening in the background. So just wait for some time. Because I'm pressing a space bar, I'm not able to move the cursor. That means it is running in the background. Let me just increase the font size as well. I'm not sure properties or defaults or something. Since you are performing all the operations on the VM will take some time to respond. So buffer size, medium, large, font. Font is the one which I want to increase. Keep it up to 18. Yeah. And see, it is done or not? It is done. I'm able to get my cursor here, right? Okay. Now do the ls. See, after extracting, I got these four files: bin externals, config.cmd, and run.cmd. Okay. Let's just clear the screen. After the task is done, what is the next step? Config.cmd. Copy it. Go back to the VM and shift insert. First, I want to configure my agent. So that's why I'm going to configure config.cmd. Enter your Azure DevOps URL. So what is your Azure DevOps URL? This is your Azure DevOps URL, right? So I'm just going to take this as a duplicate one and click on this Azure DevOps link. Azure DevOps. You'll be able to see the complete URL. Copy this and paste it here. Enter authentication type. How do you want to authenticate? If you press enter, it is going to ask for PAT token. Yes, I want to use PAT token. That's why I'm going to make it as enter. Enter personal access token. Now what we need to do? We need to create token. How? Okay. Go to organization setting. Last, okay. Developers. Here developers are not there, right? Profile setting. Okay, where it is profile setting? This one you meant to say? Not this one. Okay, then where it is? Project settings. Okay. Sorry, I went into the organization settings. Let's go to project setting. Okay. Where it is? To create a PAT token, we need to go to the user settings, personal access token. Okay, so this is how you need to create a token. Name of it will be, I'm just going to keep it as something, some name, that's it. And I want it to be used for the next 30 days under this organization. I want to give it a full access. Create it. copy the code. Once if you go back and come again, this won't be visible again. At that time, what you are going to do? Create one more token. I just copied it and hmm, warning. Make sure you copy the about token now, and we don't store it, and you will not be able to see it again. That's what they are trying to say. And paste it here. This is my token. Enter. Connecting to the server. Register the agent. So where it is registering in my VM. Enter the agent pool. Press enter for default. Yes, I want to use only default. So enter. Press enter the agent name. So press enter for Ramesh VM. Yes, take this, enter only. I'm not making any changes. All I'm doing is just giving the enter. Successfully added the agent. Testing agent connection. Enter the work folder. So the work folder that I want is underscore work. Yes, enter. Do you want to run agent as a service? Yes, keep it as yes. Enter enable services for something. For this printer, enter. Enter authority service, enter. All of them just give only yes and enter. That's it. Enter whether to prevent the service starting immediately after configuration is finished. Do you want to start this as a service? Basically, what is a service? If you go to task manager, in your local system, if you go to task manager, and here you see n number of services. Did you start all these services? No. It is by default started right whenever I restart my VM. Like the same way, once you restart the VM in that agent, do you want me to restart? Like, do you want me to always keep on running that agent on that VM? If you want to run it always as a service, run it. Even after the VM is restarted, again the service will start automatically. If you want to do like that, yes, do it. So I'll go to the VM and enter whether to prevent the service starting immediately. I don't want to press no and see what is happening. And it started successfully, it is saying. So till this point config.cmd is fine. Three steps we have run. What about the other step? The other step is run.cmd. If you did not run as a service above, if you want to run it as a service, just run this. Complete the four steps. That's fine. I just copied it, but still not able to see. See, since I am trying to apply my commands on the VM, this will take some time. Yeah, run.cmd I copied. Just enter. Scanning for tool capabilities, and then see what happens. Connecting to the server, listening for the jobs. So that means the agent is sitting in the VM and it is ready to listen for the jobs. Now we want to prove that whether whatever the pipeline that I am trying to run, it is going to run in this VM only. Right? Let's minimize this. Now go back to that pipelines. Go back to the pipelines, and here you need to go to the pipelines. Select this pipeline, any pipeline. What I want to prove is I want to run it under my own VM. That is called as self-hosted agent. So in this, in the pipeline, earlier what have you chosen? Agent pool. Now I want to choose default. In the default pool, how many VMs are available for me? Two. Like as of now, only one. I configured only one. Till this point, it is fine. I want to run like this is fine, and also I want to enable this task. These two are fine. Now just save and queue and see what happens. No agent fall in the default pool that satisfies the following specified demands. That means what? I'm looking for specific demands called Maven and some version. If you remember, I mentioned it somewhere, I'll show you. On the agent job, this is where I mentioned those. Where in the demands, there is nothing here. Did I run this pipeline or some other pipeline? This pipeline only. Just do this. Drop folder. This is fine. Agent job. And see this. Because of these two, it is not able to run. So delete demand ms build. Yes, I want to delete it. I'm not able to delete this. This is a delete symbol, right? Delete demand. Okay, leave it. I don't want to waste time on this. Let me create a new pipeline. All I want to show is just I want my pipeline to run on that VM. So take some things, select the empty job, and just add one task, anything. Copy files task or CMD task, anything. So command line. Just add this. There are two commands in this echo. And if you want to print your name, you can keep something like echo version IT. So it will print version IT. Fine. Till this point, it is fine. Now I want this pipeline to be running on which machine? My default pool, right? Instead of going to the pipelines, I'm going to select default. Fine. If you go to agent job, if you have n number of things, then you can directly drop down, use the drop down here, and you can make use. But as of now, what I have done was directly I made the pipeline to run on default pool. Now just to save this and queue this. See what happens. And if you click on the agent job, see, waiting on the agent to receive the acknowledgement request. See, running the job one agent one. And see, this is what the VM, right? This is my own VM. Understood? Like this, you will be able to run your pipelines on a self-hosted agent. Earlier, we used agent Azure pipelines. In that, the VM will be created and deleted by which one? Microsoft. Now I am able to run my steps in the my own VM. What is the difference between these two? First, let's consider about the time it has taken to execute this pipeline. When you are going with the agent pool like Azure pipelines, it will take at least 10 seconds to alert a machine for you. But when it comes to self-hosted agents, it is very fast, right? Automatically, it has picked up and then it completed it. Okay, this is also fine. As of now, understand like this. Next time when I try to run the same pipeline, already some cache memory is stored on that VM, right? Again, like if you try to run it for the second time, it will be the agent will be allocated very fastly because of that cache memory. So just try to run new, see what happens. This time it will take very less time. So once the acknowledgement is received, and see this again, it is trying to complete. See, once the acknowledgement is received, accepted, immediately it is going to run the pipeline. Okay, till this point we can see that you can use the cache memory to execute directly on the top of the VM, and when it whatever the time it takes by the self-hosted agent, it will be very less. Okay. Third point, since you are keeping your own VM, right? Who needs to take care of the VM? We only need to take care, right? Any upgradations, patch upgradations like security threats, all these things we need to take care. But when it comes to self hosted agent, the VM will be provided by Microsoft Azure, and we are not able to even log in into that system. So which one is very secure when it comes, like, all I want to say is, if you are going with the hosted agent, the VM will be taken care by the Azure itself. But if you are using self-hosted agent, you need to take care of this VM. Okay, this is third point. Fourth point, I want a pipeline defined in such a way like NuGet tool installer, MS build, all these steps are there. If if Visual Studio is installed in the VM, then only I can build the application, right? If it is not installed, I cannot build it. So who needs to take care of this installation part when we are going with the self-hosted agent? We need to take care. When it comes to a hosted agent, we don't have to take care. So by default, it will be always available in the hosted agents. 4 points we have discussed as of now. Let's come to the fifth point. Your application is a banking application, and you have a trust issues. So if you keep publish artifact, and if you are doing something, you will see that whatever the application that is very important to me, I'm trying to run the application on top of hosted agents. So that means the VM will be created and deleted. I'm not sure whether it is done or not. I want it to be very secure. At that time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a self-hosted agent and run the pipelines on my own VM itself. So this way I can have some security, right? This is the fifth point. Okay. Till this point, what are the differences between hosted agent and self-hosted agent? First thing will be the time allocated to alert a machine will be very fast in self-hosted agent. And when you are taking the self-hosted agent, due to the cache memory, the build can happen very fast. Third point, when compared with the hosted agent and self-hosted agent, the installation part on self-hosted agent is need to be taken care by you itself. And fourth point is like security, how you can provide the security to those. Okay, I will show you the documentation also how to make the differences between hosted and self-hosted. As of now, try to understand 4 points. Till this point, it is fine. At some point of time, I have a doubt. This pipeline is executing the jobs on my VM. I want to know what are the jobs or what are the tasks that it has executed. Is it able to verify? Like, is it possible to verify or not? Okay. In that case, where it is. So it shows that the completed success with the result succeeded. When you are configuring the config.cmd, it has asked you what is the work folder. What you have and you pressed enter. That means underscore work. Let's see. Windows E is going to give you the file explorer. Windows E, and go to this PC and go to C drive, and inside this go to users and SA admin. Go to agent underscore work. If you go to underscore work, you can be able to see the task underscore task. You can see the command line task. This is the only one that I have kept, right? So like this you will be able to see the tasks. Understood? So whatever the task that you have performed on that VM, it will be easy to find in which location you have installed this, on which location. See, users, SA admin and agent, right? That's what I have taken you here. So if you go to this PC and C drive, users, I think it is my local system. Yeah. So here itself, like you just maximize this. So if you go down there, you will be able to see. Okay, that's fine. Anyhow, Windows CA also going to work, right? This way also. C drive, users, SA admin, agent, and underscore work is the folder where you are able to see the task that has been already run. Now, one question for me. So, since the VM is on, and the VM is able to take the pipeline tasks, or it is able to run the pipeline jobs, somebody unknowingly they just turned off this VM. Now what will be the situation? Is it going to execute the task or what? Understood the question, right? So this is the Ramesh VM which is already running my request. I just stopped this VM. Now whether my pipeline will be able to run or not? No. Exactly, because your VM is off. That means inside the VM, your agent is also sitting there, right? that is also off. So it won't be able to run any pipeline task on that. Okay, this is fine. Let me show you practically. I want to run the same pipeline again on this one. Run new, and I'm going to take the default pool only and see what happens. Waiting on the agent to receive and acknowledge the request. So it will be on waiting only. In these cases of scenarios, what is your debugging first? You understood the point, right? I turned off the VM. I am not sure. As of now, I am the only person who created the VM and who did this setup also. I turned off the VM, so I know that actually what is the exact issue because I turned off it. But when it comes to you, you don't know, right? How you can debug the issue. So first go back to your project settings and go back to the agent pools. This is the default one, right? And go to agents. See, this is offline. This is offline actually. So I want to make this as online. How? By looking into this issue, I can clearly see that the VM went into offline. Now you will go back to the portal and verify that whether the VM is in off status or on. Let's just turn on this and wait for it. The VM is also on. Still, this agent shows that it is offline. Then how you are going to debug this? Understood the points, right? సి ఇందాకైతే ఏం చేశానంటే విఎం ఆఫ్ చేశాను. ఆఫ్ చేసిన తర్వాత నాకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏటీఎం దగ్గరికి వచ్చేసి చూసాను ఆఫ్లైన్ అని తెలిసింది. అక్కడ ఆన్లైన్ ఆన్ చేశాను మళ్ళీ విఎం. స్టిల్ ఇది ఆఫ్లైన్లోనే ఉంది. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? పవర్ షెల్ నెక్స్ట్. You are correct. PowerShell next. We have to we have to run the command. Which command? Run.cmd or config.cmd? Hmm? Run.cmd. What does the run.cmd will do? Okay, I'll do one thing. So the VM is online right now. The VM is online. Here it is running, but here still it is showing as offline. In these cases of scenarios, what you need to do is log in into that VM first. So this is the public IP and my MSTSC also gone. Again you need to log in. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. So once you logged into this VM, what you need to do is open the PowerShell. You need to run a command called run.cmd to make it as run as a service. So sometimes the service might be failing. In those cases, what you need to do is, I'll just tell you. Once this gets loaded, then I'll tell you. See, this is getting loaded. So just keep this down. Go to Task Manager. See whether the service is up or not. Go to Task Manager. More details. Go to Services. What is the server name? It's an agent, right? See, I don't see that here. So that means it is not running as a service in the background. So by looking here, I can clearly see that that service is not running here. Then what I need to do? I want to run it as a service again. So PowerShell.
Sir, for Windows also use PowerShell.
By Windows only by default we will be having PowerShell.
For Linux also use.
For Linux nobody uses PowerShell. For Linux it is a bash or shell. Agent ls. I have run.cmd, right? I want to run this run.cmd. So dot /run dot cmd. Why I am running dot slash? If it is in Windows, if it is a like a .exe file, how you are going to run it? Double click. If it is a command line, then you need to mention dot slash run dot cmd. Okay. Scanning for the tool capabilities and see again you are able to see listening for the jobs. And go back to your Azure DevOps and see you are able to see it. This is one way. Okay. So if the VM is off, so whenever if you see that you are not able to run the pipeline jobs, immediately go to the agent pool and look for the agent whether it is in online or offline. And you always need to make this as online. Then only the pipeline can run. And if you click on this one, it will show you the number of jobs it has executed. Okay, this is fine. Windows itself, I am able to run it. What about the Linux? To connect to the Linux machine, what I need to do? Routine. So I need to have the Linux VM public IP address. It is getting slow. Copy. Go to your this one. Paste it directly. Open it. Login as admin is the username. Password is India at 123456. It is logged in. So let me just clear the screen. And right now I am in admin user. If you want to see the directory, we can see slash home slash admin. Yesterday I copied that file into which location? To ls. This location itself I copied. Okay. I have the zip file. Earlier in Windows it is a .zip, but in Linux operating or in Ubuntu operating system it is tar.gz. Tar is a zip file. We can consider it as a zip file, tar file. We need to extract this tar file. So we need to have the commands like, so where is the agent pool, and we need to have that steps, right? Okay, it's a Linux machine. I downloaded and I sent already. What I need to run? This one. Copy, paste it there. Make a directory called my agent and navigate into that directory. Yes, I navigated into that. And after that, tar g, sorry, you just want to extract it. Copy this command. What it does is it is going to extract it. Why I am copying only till this point? Why not this? Understood? So this until this dollar that represent your this one. Understood? So I am going to have this copy, and is it going to be error or something else? See, what is the error? Cannot open. Why? Because no such file or directory. That means it says that whatever the directory that you have mentioned, in that directory we do not have this file. So basically, just go one step back and do pwd slash home slash admin, right? If you do ls here, this is where I have my tar file. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the pwd and save this, and then I will navigate into, what I will do is I'll just copy this complete line. Just for the editing purpose, I'm going to open the notepad. This is the original command where you have your files slash home slash admin, right? Okay. Here it is looking for which location? Under downloads, it is looking for this file. But I don't have the file in downloads. I have the file in this. Is it going to run now or not? Yes. Copy this and paste it over here. See, it is extracting. And see, it is done. it is extracted. Now what I want to do is, so just go back to the other steps. After extracting, the next step I'm going to do is config.sh. Copy this, do paste it. It is also going to ask you, enter to accept the Team Explorer every license agreement now. For everything I will give yes. Enter server URL. What is your server URL? This one. This is my server URL. Copy this and paste it here. What is the path token? We have forgot. We haven't saved it. Now what I am going to do is create one more time. Personal access token. And see this earlier I created this, right? What I will do is I want to revoke the token. Will you be able to see the token now? No. I'm going to create it each and every time. If you get this kind of issue, do not revoke it. Just try to create a new one. That's fine. So some random name. I want it to be utilized for 30 days. Full access. Create. This is the token. Latest token. Copy that and paste it here. After that, it tries to connect to the server and the agent gets successfully installed, and it is going to ask you enter the agent pool name. Press enter for default. Press agent name. Press enter for take this name. Successfully tested the agent and it is connected, it shows. After that, enter the work folder underscore work. Settings are saved. What is the next step that I need to do? Run.sh. So copy this here and paste it here. It tries to connect to the, it tries to run it as a server. Basically what happens is it is going to listen for the jobs. So it is listening right now. Yeah, okay. Now I want the pipeline to run on this machine right now. So go back to the pipelines. This is the pipeline, like project. Under this project, if I go to the pipeline, 12 minutes ago, yeah, I want to run on this one. Run the pipeline. But now I have a question. Click on edit. I want to show you one thing. Let me show you. Just open the link in a new tab. How many VMs do I have right now? Two VMs. The two VMs are running or not? Yes. Let's go to the agent pool and verify that. Default pool, go to agents, and I can see the two VMs are running right now. I don't want to run it on top of the Windows VM. So just turn it off. I want to run the pipeline only on Linux VM. Okay, let's go back to this. And once if you go to the pipeline, I mentioned the default pool itself. Now save it. Now queue this. See in which VM it is going to run. Waiting on the agent to receive the acknowledgement receipts. See, it is running the job. Understood? Like this, you need to set up the self-hosted agents. Okay. Till this point, it is fine. As of now, I have two VMs. In the two VMs, one VM is turned off, and then the request went all automatically to the second VM. So this way, I proved that if I send the request to the default pool, whatever the VM is available, that VM will take your request and it will run. Okay. Can we see in the Linux VM like whatever the command that we have, whatever the task that we have executed? In Windows, I am able to see in which directory underscore work. Now, just to duplicate this session. Why I am duplicating it? Because if I want to run any command here, I need to do Control C. When I do Control C, what happens? This agent will stop. So I don't want it to stop. So that's why I have taken a duplicate session. Login as SA admin. Password is India at 123456. Done. So if you see ls, I have underscore work folder, right? cd underscore work. In that task, right? cd underscore tasks. Here you will be able to see that command line task, whichever I have used it in the pipeline. Till this point, any doubt? So this is how we used to set up the self-hosted agents. Okay. Now, one question for me. I have two VMs in my default pool. Those two VMs are turned off. Now what I can do? Whether the pipeline runs or fails? It fails. Okay. I have a requirement. I have 10 VMs in the agent pool. I have 10 VMs in the agent pool. In the 10 VMs, only one VM is having Visual Studio. If I send the request to the agent pool, is it going to look for the first VM, second VM, third VM, fourth VM like that? VM 10 will have Visual Studio 10, Visual Studio. Out of these 10, directly my pipeline should go to the 10th VM and it needs to execute that. You need to specify the demands. So once it meets the demand, then only the pipeline is going to run in that VM. Understood? So that is very important in the real time. They are going to ask the question like, I have 100 VMs. In that 100 VMs, I want to run my pipeline on a specific VM. How can I run it? So you need to specify demands. Okay. So till this point in my pipeline, how many jobs I have created? Agent jobs. Only one agent job. In each agent job, I can have n number of tasks. Okay. Let me create one more task for you. The task I'm going to make it as copy files. And just going to mention like this copy files. Understand a scenario like this. I have 10 pipelines. In 10 pipelines, I want to include these two steps. What is the better way that you can explain? I want to include these two steps in all the pipelines. Like let's consider I have 100 pipelines. In 100 pipelines, I want to have these two tasks. What is the first way that you can say? Open each pipeline, add these two steps. If it is one or two, you can do it. If it is 100, what you can? You need to have a shortcut for it, right? So just what I'm going to do is copy files, copy this. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm getting some. Okay, and see this. I will answer your question, Kana. Just give me some time. So I was just saying, I have two tasks which needs to be included in all the pipelines. Manually, we cannot open each pipeline and we cannot add. We cannot add those two tasks. If it is two tasks, that's fine. If it is 10 tasks, common tasks, which I need to include in 100 pipelines, it will take a lot of time for you, right? At that time, what you are going to do? For example, I am just going to copy these variables just to make sure how you can utilize that option. Forget about what I'm writing. I want these two tasks to be included in all the other pipelines. So just select the two tasks and right click on it and create a group. Create a group. A group will be always having n number of tasks inside it. I am going to make it as something called as demo group. Under which category you want to write? You can take any category. As of now, I'm just doing in the build pipeline, right? So just keep it as build. Create it. Task demo group has been created. Now let's go to this is GitHub CI project one, right? I want to include this. Okay, I just need to save this. Save it. Go to other pipelines. I want to include that step in this pipeline. Click on this edit pipeline. Without the groups, what you used to do, you used to include these two tasks, right, manually. But if you click on the add, look for your task group name. So you just need to refresh it. Yes. Here you are able to see it, right? Directly you can mention the task groups here. Now you have a question. I'm able to include the task group, but I want to see what are the different kind of tasks available in it. At that time, go to the task group. If you go to the task group, this is your group, right? Under this, whatever the number of tasks that you want to add or delete, you can do it from here itself. Understood? What is a task and what is a task group? Task means like it's a single one. A task group consists one or more tasks inside it. They are, in real time, they are going to ask you a question like, what is the use of task groups? You need to explain them. If there are n number of tasks that needs to be repeated in every pipeline, first we used to create the task group and include the tasks in it. And after that, we used to call the task group in each and every other pipeline that we used to use, that we need to use. Okay. So this way you can make use of task groups. Okay. Now, if you go to the agent pools, and in the agent pool, you will be able to see all the information here. At some point of time, there will be a situation where the agent that you have installed on that VM is 2.206.1. After 1 year or after 6 months, the agent version will be getting changed, right? At that time, what you need to do? You need to also upgrade this agent. How? Update the agent. Okay, this is how we can do it. Till this point, any doubt? Setting up the self-hosted agent, specifying the demands, and where do you see the work folder? All these things you know, right? Okay. And so Khanna was asking about a doubt, saying that if you go to the personal access token, forget that you have not copied this one. If you do the revoke, what happens? Are you sure you want to revoke the following token? Yes, just revoke it. What happened when you do the revoke? Hmm? It expires. Expired. When do you revoke first? For example, I created a token, and when I was creating the token, I mentioned the 30 days. Now today is 31 date. The token has already expired, right? Now you want me to revoke the token or create a new token? Okay, still you don't understand it. I'll tell you. So if you go to this, for example, this token, edit is there, revoke is there, regenerate is there. Okay, I want you guys to find out the difference because it is very important. Revoke, regenerate. If I click on regenerate, what happens? A new token will be generated. Okay, if I do this, see what happens. This is the new token. If I do revoke, what happens? Huh? Revoke will be always considered as for access or creating the new token. Which one? Access related or creating the new token? Revoke. Okay, let me show you the answers. Like they will be pinging. If we revoke the token, what will happen to the earlier configured VM's agent status? For example, when I was creating the token, I gave full access. After that, I changed the access to only read. Is it going to use the latest key? No. Already the key is same. The token is same. You just need to revoke that access to apply for the latest changes. And if anyone create azure.portal. Okay. Did anyone create Azure account? No? Yes. No. Okay. I will tell you how you need to invite other people. Okay, if anyone has created what, like I'm just going to show you how you need to invite the other people. So I'm just making this session as recorded and fine. Basically, in every company, where do they maintain the information of the employees, users? active active directory, Azure Active Directory. Go here, go to users. I want to create a new user first. And see, we have all these people, and I'm just going to use this create new user. And do you want to create the user or invite the? If you keep invite the user, you need to take their email address. But I don't want to take their email address. I will create it by myself. Create the user. What is the username? I'm going to mention it as Hemant. This is the user email address. Copy this, and you need to paste it. This is the user email address. Hemant at the rate tilak99gmail.onmicrosoft.com. This is the email address for you. And what is the name? Hemant. I'm just filling only the star marks. That means mandatory things. Auto generate the password. Yes. This is the password. This is a two-step process actually. Username and password both are taken. Just create it. After that, do not make any changes. I just created the user called Hemant. I created the user, but did I give him any access? I made him as a reader, contributor, or anything? No, right? I want to make him as a contributor. Contributor on where? How? How many subscriptions I have? One subscription. So go to subscription wise. If I go to subscription wise, I have free trial subscription. I want Hemant to use only free trial. So after going into the subscription, go for access control, IAM, Identity Access Management. Whatever the kind of access that you want to give to any people, you need to go for IAM. And first, I want to check for the user called Hemant. See the role assignments 000. He doesn't have any role. I want to assign him the role. Add role assignment. What do you want me? What do you want him to make? Owner, contributor, or reader? I am going to make him as a contributor. Click on next. Who is the member? Select the members to be Hemant. Select it. So Hemant is the member and the contributor is the role that I am going to give him. Review plus assign. So this is done. So once the role assignment is done, you can check for the Hemant again here. He is a contributor now. He grant full access to manage all the resources within Azure. So he will be able to create, delete or anything inside this free subscription only. If you have 5 subscriptions, let's consider free trial 1, free trial 2, free trial 3, free trial 4 and 5. I gave him access to only free trial 1. So he will be able to access only free trial 1. I want him to access free trial 2. Then what is the process? Go to that free trial 2 subscription, go to IAM, add him the role assignment so that he will be able to access free trial 2 also. Understood? This is how, based on the subscription level itself, I am giving the permission, not on the resource level. On the subscription level, I am giving him the permission. So once it is done, what he is going to do is, I'm going to take the new incognito tab, Control Shift N, portal.azure.com. So this will directly take me to this account. I don't want this. If I just log out again, I don't have the user ID and password. So that's why. Let me try to do it here. Portal.azure.com. So there he need to provide the user ID and password. So this is the user ID. Here also, and see, this is logged in with this name. Maybe later. If you have not, if you have just signed up, you haven't given your credit card information, then you won't be like understood, right? మీరు క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చి మొత్తం టూ రూపీస్ కట్ అయిపోయి మొత్తం ప్రాసెస్ సక్సెస్ అయితే ఇలా రాదు మీకు పేజ్. If you want to start it, you want to start it. Then again, you need to provide the credit card information like this. I am just going to log out with this name, sign in with a different user. I want to use another account. Here, I want to use this. And let me take the password also. This is the password. Like this, you can create n number of users and give them the access so that they will be able to create their own accounts. New password will be, this will take a lot of time. HYD at the rate 123098. HYD at the rate 123098. Yeah, skip for now. So you will be able to see the VMs and everything. So maybe later and click on the VMs. You will be able to see the VMs also, right? See, even if you want to stop the VMs, you can stop the VMs like this. So it is already stopped. What about the second VM? So let me just stop it to reduce the cost. Go to VMs and VM2 also remove. Stop. That's it. This is how once anybody signed up into the Azure portal account, they need to invite the users like this. Okay. Any doubts till this point?